Hello, everybody. Let's get started. My name is Ken Brown. I'm in hello class of TEM 431, and to Professor Gibson. I'm going to talk about restaurants and the pandemic. First, a personal story. When it comes to a personal story, I think of restaurants. My mother used to, when we went downtown, she would we would have dinner at Elijah Brothers Big Boy. So that was my favorite special time with my mom when we're going downtown. My grandmother, we would go to Howard Johnson's, and that was a special time. And also, my grandmother would introduce me to seafood, um, lobster, crab, scallops, and she introduced me to Louisiana seafood, jambalaya, and it was my favorite. Um, so, and then my grandfather, um, we would go to breakfast and we go to Biff's, and I would always order the silver dollar pancake. So that was a special time for me. And then for my daughters, when they were young, we would go to Kentucky Fried Chicken or Steakhouse Long. Uh, can't remember the steakhouse, but it was a steakhouse. But oh, but now in dinner, breakfast, um, special times for families, and so. But now the pandemic happened, and I was looking forward to 2020, and when that happened, first time in many years, probably over almost maybe 100 years, that we faced with a pandemic, and this had a tremendous impact on everybody, businesses, individuals, and myself. I was kind of concerned that how would that affect my business, and I was wondering, how it would affect my daughters. I thought my daughters would be okay, but I started to think, am I gonna, am I gonna die because am I gonna catch the virus? And so, because I was, 63 at the time, I'm 64 now. I said, am I gonna survive this? And I had to realize that, I'll be good. Um, what is, what's gonna happen is gonna happen, and I had to live with that. Um, so people, and it had a tremendous impact on business. So um, it had an impact on every of us. And slowly but surely, President Trump and his administration, we got the shots going, and things that we're coming out of it now. But it did have an impact on restaurants and business. We had to change our for businesses, they have to change the business model. For restaurants, they have to change the business model. They have to look at a better way of doing business. So I'm going to focus on some restaurants, Taffer's Tavern, Cabela's, not a restaurant. I'll tell you in a minute why. Los Bravos, Uber Eats, Cool Runnings, and this is it. So Taffer's. Let's talk about Taffer's for a minute. Have you ever saw Bar Rescue? Bar Rescue, CNBC. Well, John Taffer has been in the business for over 40 years. He's a hospitality expert. Um, he came up with a very unique restaurant slash tavern model. He said, I want to create a not a bar but a tavern, and it's interesting. He basically, and I'm gonna read a couple of thoughts that he said. He said, back in 2018, I started conceptualizing Taffer's Tavern, and he had innovation, service trust, and most importantly, using the web and technology and whatnot. So he had looked at the lessons and success he had in 40 years in hospitality industry, and he said, I want to create a place where you'll feel home. There's a place that's quite familiar, yet timeless, a place of character ingrained within the community, and a place for everyone. Ultimately, you want to build a tavern, a place where you can share stories, create new ones with friends and family alike, a place where there's such a thing as a stranger, where a person sitting next to you could easily become a new friend, and while enjoying our signature crafted cocktails and unbelievably delicious food. So that was his thing. So what I want to do is show you, he created this tavern. How good is he? Let me show you how good it is. That's the entrance of the tavern. You see John's picture there, and then the food. Food's marvelous. And let me show you what the food looks like. Uh, you can see the bit does. He's got now, with a tavern, what you have cocktails. He's got his favorite tropical bliss. He's got a platter of tasters of cocktails, and it can include vodka, rum, tequila, and whiskey. If you like starters, appetizers, where he's got coconut shrimp, he's got truffle fries, and my favorite Georgia wings. They're in Georgia. Plates, tavern fish and chips. He's got grilled salmon, braised short ribs, herb chicken, southern style green beans, and my favorite mac and cheese. So that's his food. Doesn't look great? Excellent, delicious food. And the cocktails are tremendous. But I thought something that was very, very good at what he wanted to do, he wanted to look at how his tavern can be profitable. And as you know, in business in general, it's kind of hard to find good people, and employment, definitely in the restaurant industry, it can be challenging. So he realized when he started this business that labor pool is going to be low, employment's going to be low. So he wanted to find a way to reinvent casual dining and looked at trying to decrease his labor costs by 60%. Pretty big thing. So he embraced technology. He started to look at how can I create a robotic customized oven system. And this is what he did. One of the first things he did is he had hand testers to inspect the hands of every employee to detect viral and bacterial cells. Second thing he did is that he had a device that freezes the restaurant glasses and that kills all the bacteria contaminants. Third, he has a central kitchen, not in the restaurant, not in the tavern, but off-site. And that kitchen creates the food, they package the food, and then deliver it back to the tavern. And then they package it, and then at the tavern, they heat the food up. It's finished in their computerized robotic oven system, which I thought was very interesting. So they prepare the food off-site, and then they bring it back to the tavern, they heat it up, and then how is it delivered? Well, it's delivered, and this is really good. Restaurants have started, and John has done this. He has decided that he wants to emphasize pickup and delivery, because it's going to be a great profit margin for restaurants. And so, and I've actually talked to one of the managers there. He says that's the biggest thing. That's where the most profit is, the order and delivery, the pickup and delivery. So he's doing that, but he created a tough system. And how does that food get delivered? They put it in. If you've ever ordered from Amazon and you have to go to one of the local pickup places, and you'll have these, what do you call them? I won't say safes, but they're storage facilities. And you go in and they're locked. And you have your cell phone, and what you do is you put your code in your cell phone, and then one of the storage things will open up. And so it's amazing how he did that. So that's Taffer Tavern, and then this is Renault. He's embraced the technology, and he says, quote, the future. Get this is interesting. He says that the future of our industry is not the chefs. Interesting. The future of our industry is in technology. He has embraced technology, as I've said before. So good luck to John. He's doing well. And actually, he's expanding to other places in the United States. So he's doing a good job. And he's also got his own he's got his own app, Taffer's app. So I thought that would be interesting to include. Next. So we talked about John and his tavern. I want to bring up Cabela's. Now, Cabela's is not a restaurant, but they're doing amazing things regarding engaging the customer, utilizing the web, and I'm going to talk about that. Now, before the pandemic, things are going really, really well. There's actually 2 Cabela's in close to where I live, and I went to the one closest to me. And what I found out is that they first, when the pandemic hit, like every business, they had to limit the customer traffic. They had to adopt a cleaning program to clean the stores and keep the personnel from being contaminated and the customers. Also, they reduced their in-store traffic. You know, the customers didn't like that, but you have to do what you got to do. But they emphasized buying online, and once you bought your product online, then what they did is that they emphasized that you could pick up at the store. And then the other thing that I thought was really interesting is that they embraced social media and new media. You can see videos about Cabela's. You can on YouTube, Instagram, you see videos and their posts. You can also see it on Facebook and also Twitter. So they built their web presence by utilizing those opportunities. So I thought that was good. Now, after the pandemic, things settled down. They opened up everything back, and I went there a week ago, and things are buzzing. Lots of people, lots of traffic, lots of sales being done. And you go inside the store, a lot of stuff doing. Now, Cabela's, if you don't know this, is a store for the outdoor industry, for people that are interested in hunting, fishing, camping, and the sort. So when you go inside the store, there's lots of stuff happening. You got an information desk for people that need information on what the store has and how to get to it. You've got a lot of friendly salespeople. I thought that was good. But you think of Cabela as a resource for the outdoor industry and the community. And so you've got information on fishing tours and tournaments. You've got flyers on special events that they're promoting, and that helps to engage their customer. Also, they've got printouts of the hunting seasons for beer, turkey, fox, bobcat, possum, even alligator. I guess there's hunting seasons for alligators, and also for the kids. You know, people have coloring books, so they got coloring pages that emphasizes hunting and fishing and outdoor stuff, which I thought was good. And also, too, it's a place where people come, and I met the Sea Scouts. I never heard of the Sea Scouts, but they were actually so they're a great store for the community of fishing, hunting, camping, and etc. So I wanted to bring up Cabela's because what they're doing is excellent. They're engaging the community, they're embracing the web, and they're making money. Now, how much money did they make last year? During the pandemic, they made $40 million for this one particular store. And they're one of the top stores in the country. So what they're doing is right. It's good for their business. So keep it up. So we talked about Tavros Tavern. We talked about Cabela's. Oh, I forgot to mention, here's some of the parts of the store. You can see people shopping. That's the Christmas time. Last year, the kids involved in fishing. And so it's a really engaging retail store. So what's next? I kind of mentioned Uber Eats. Uber Eats is not a restaurant, but they're its third partner. And when you're talking about technology, Uber Eats knows how to do it. Their partner, as you know, is Uber, and Uber is a ride-sharing company. Uber Eats was started in 2016, and it's a great strategic partner. And in terms of how much they're making, well, they made, as of last year, $1.16 billion. And they've grown since 2016 to almost 200%. That's pretty good, isn't it? But if you go on the website, in fact, maybe I'll show you the website here. They have so many opportunities for you to buy, and not just food, but if you look at the top on their website, you can look at deals. There's got the top eats. They have, as you probably look, coffee, tea, pizza, burgers, Chinese food, Japanese food, sushi, Chinese food, seafood, comfort food, all the stuff. If you don't like that, you can actually scale down, and you'll see the national brands like McDonald's, Burger King, Panda Express. You've got the family favorites. You've got the specials for the particular day, and anything that's popular. Anything. If you say what's near me, you can do a search on that. And lastly, You can search by business address, home address, wherever you are. You can search and find out where the best deals are for Uber Eats. Now, I mentioned Uber Eats. Uber Eats also, there's also other third parties like DoorDash. I think Uber just bought them. And you have Postmates, and you have other places. But I just wanted to show you how Uber Eats is doing because they're doing a pretty good job. And also too, you can search based on what the most popular are, the highest rating in terms of restaurants, who has the shortest delivery time, what about the price range? You can search for that, and then what's the maximum delivery fee or the minimum delivery fee, and dietary choices. So you've got opportunity with a third party like Uber Eats to deliver the food that restaurants are making and deliver it to their customers. So I thought that would be a pretty interesting thing to talk about. So when we talk about leveraging technology, Uber Eats is definitely doing it. Okay? So we talked about Uber Eats, we talked about the Bellas, and we talked about John Tapper's Tavern. We'll talk about Los Bravos. Los Bravos is a restaurant that's in my neighborhood. And I remember, I've been here for 5 years, but I used to live in what they call Johns Creek for over 10 plus years. And there was a restaurant called Armando's. And Armando's, I can get paella, I can get salmon burrito, I can get what is called lobster tacos. And those are my favorite dishes. So I would order that. I go to Los Bravos my first time and say, hey, do you have a salmon burrito? They didn't have a salmon burrito, unfortunately. I said, do you have lobster tacos? Obviously, I didn't have lobster tacos either. Didn't have paella. So I ordered the next best thing. I ordered chicken fajitas. Now they had that, and that was pretty good. But the menu I found was kind of limited, and that was disappointing. And also, too, I discovered that I couldn't order. They didn't use Uber Eats or DoorDash or Grubhub or something, or Postmates. So, if I didn't want to come in, I want to order, I couldn't do that. So I thought that was interesting. That's two things. Third, they didn't have a website, online presence. They had Yelp, but Yelp is Yelp. It's not your online presence. It didn't seek uh, to engage people or show people how people love their food and what makes their restaurant special. So I thought that was interesting. Another thing, didn't have a takeout menu. Also, to the wait staff didn't speak. They're not fluent in English, and so sometimes if I ordered, I get my order wrong, and that was kind of disappointing. But so that was before the pandemic. Now, during the pandemic, when it hit, all the stuff that I kind of picked out made it even worse. And unfortunately, they weren't ready. They're more reactive than proactive. And traffic was down, sales are down. They had to reduce their staff, and they had to raise the prices. And then they went to, as most restaurants are doing, pick up and delivery, because that's where the money's made. It's more profitable. Also, too, you had to promote new cleanliness and hygiene, sanitation policies for the restaurant, and and they survived. And post-pandemic, they're just picking stuff up. People are coming back to the restaurant. I've come back to the restaurant. I still order from them. I still get chicken fajitas. I'm still waiting for the salmon burrito and the other things, and maybe I'll find that there. So, but more people are coming in. That's great. So, if you want to see what Los Bravos looks like, in the center there's the front uh, building, and then you can see some of their eaters. And in the middle here, at the top, that's my chicken and shrimp fajitas. There might be some steak in there. Excellent food, but there's a lot of things that we can do to get better, and I'll talk more about that in recommendations. Anybody like Caribbean food? I love Caribbean food. My favorite Caribbean restaurant is Cool Runnings. They started in 1993 and called Decatur, and then they spread out. They have over 5, 6 restaurants now. They've been pointed out. They've been awarded as the best Caribbean restaurant in the Atlanta area. Really good food. My favorite food is the curry chicken. Sometimes if I want to be get something that's curry related, I get the curry goat. But they have jerk chicken, which is excellent. They have oxtail. They have brown fish, I think they call it. So when I want Caribbean food, I'm going to Cool Runnings. And but during the pandemic, it was really nice. And I'll show you the pictures. Matter of fact, I'll show them now. That's the first restaurant in off of Memorial Drive. And these are some of the selections. On the upper right top, it has collard greens. That's the curry chicken with the rice and peas, they call it. Excellent food. So all times when I go in there, in the past, I get one. I'll have one thing there. Really nice restaurant, really great service, and then I would buy 1 or 2 meals to go. So I thought that was I love doing this. I'm not stupid. I'm going to get one meal, eat, and I'm going to bring 1 or 2 back with me. So this is the restaurant that I used to attend. You see the chairs and everything's there, and the person in the middle, that's Reed. He is one of the owners of the restaurant. Fine guy, entrepreneur. And so this is what it looks like. They've got a bar there. They had in the past people come in doing music, etc. They were really engaged in the community. That's so important. So I thought that would be good to show you that. Now, what I didn't show you, real quick story. 2 weeks ago, I hadn't been to a restaurant since the pandemic. I come back, and I wanted to bring my daughter, my youngest daughter, and my first granddaughter. We wanted to have lunch or late lunch. And so I came and kind of disappointed. And I went there, and they've turned it completely to, pick up and delivery. Those chairs that you see in the picture, they're gone. You just order, and you come in and pick up your food. You can't stay there and eat. But they were really nice to us. They let us eat, but it just wasn't the same experience. But I was kind of caught off guard and disappointed by that. Here's an example of one of their flyers. Menu. You can see it's kind of hard to see, but it's pork, beef, goat dishes, shrimp and veggies, rice and sides, breakfast, brunch, fish dishes. Really nice. All right, so if you like soul food, Southern cooking, and you're in Atlanta, even if you're not in Atlanta, you need to come to This Is It. This Is It has been around. The Anthony family has been around for over 60 years. They started in Tampa, Florida, and Butch came up to the Atlanta metro area and launched This Is It, a soul food restaurant. My favorite is catfish. I get the whiting. I get the barbecue chicken. Love the meatloaf too. So, and so what does it look like? I mean, I forgot. When I go to and I didn't talk about this, but in Cool Runnings, Cool Runnings has cake, strawberry cake, lemon cake, rum cake. Excellent. Forgot to mention that. But here, they have strawberry cake. They got the sweet potato pie, my favorite. So I don't get like one slice of pie. I get the whole pie. But you can see here on the slide, we've got barbecue chicken on the left. I think I don't know, that looks like maybe barbecue chicken cut up. And you've got some cornbread, you got the barbecue beef, you got the macaroni and cheese, the green. What's missing is the collard greens. I don't understand why they don't have that. But you got the hot sauce. Courtney got the hot sauce. They only got their own hot sauce. This is it, barbecue sauce. So that will be interesting for me to show you. What's next? What's really nice about this is all the different foods you can get. You can see the barbecue beef brisket, and if you want, you get your fish, your chicken grilled, fried or smothered. And fried chicken's on the left-hand side at the top. And we even have crab legs down there. And you can see how, let me go back, you can see how they have not just one dinner or lunch. They're trying to get you over a package of food, which is another way of increasing your sales and your profitability. Excellent. So we've talked about all the different restaurants. Now I've got some restaurant recommendations. And I'll be quick about this. First is you got to create a sales and marketing business plan. Your business is part making food, the other part is selling the food. So you got to have a plan for that. Another thing is that you got to embrace what differentiates you from the other restaurants and seek to communicate your target market. That's very important. It's not just, opening up a restaurant and just wing it. You've got to be able to connect, attract, connect, and engage your clientele. Also, you got to know who your current clientele is, what they like. I, for instance, like to have a salmon burrito. I love to have a salmon burrito. Most Mexican restaurants don't have a salmon burrito. So I have to go to Armando's, my old neighborhood, and get that. What's next? Make a list of your higher end products, your dishes, and then promote them. You got to know what brings you the most money and sell that. That should be your priority. That includes food and also drinks. Next, another recommendation: find out the best dish from your customers. Why not? Ask them, what are you looking for? How can we serve you better? I want a salmon burrito. I still haven't got a salmon burrito from Los Bravos. Maybe that will come in the future. Number 6 is build a customer database. It makes no sense when they come in and they buy, they bring their family. What are you going to do to make sure that you keep a connection going? Let them know of an event or special offers that you're talking about. You need to connect them, get their name, get their address, get their email address, get their phone number. Send them a monthly newsletter and let them know what's going on at your restaurant. Most restaurants don't do that. You're missing an opportunity. Also, too, we said before this, you need to engage social media, social and new media. Very, very, very important. Okay. So, what's next? Wait staff. Make sure your wait staff are your top salespeople. They must be fluent in English, and you got to train them on how to sell, how to promote the dishes that you offer. We've already talked about the third-party delivery services and special drinks. There's got to be drinks that you really, really like and prefer, and it makes you good money. You should promote those. That should be on your menus. And also, too, it's no good again if you just open your restaurant and hope people come. You got to go out there and let people know who you are and what makes you special, and that they should come and check out your restaurant. So join the Chamber of Commerce. Go network. There's other local networking groups that you can participate in to let people know who you are and how good you are. So we already talked about embracing technology, but restaurants, I know restaurants are all about making food, but you see as John's Taffer's Tavern has done, they've embraced technology and it's helped them be more profitable. And that's a good thing. So, restaurant trends and predictions. One is more companies are embracing social new media. John Taffer does it. Cabela's does it. Restaurants will do it too. Next, some of you owners, their own restaurants should also be looking at becoming key influencers, having a podcast, doing videos, being active on social and new media. You got to do that because part of your personal brand will be not just the food, but how you connect with the community. That's very important. Demand for, this is a really good one in terms of predictions. People are going to want more choices. People get tired of burgers and fries. They want other things. You can be a source of differentiating yourself from everybody else, and people will come to you when they want that's something that's special. Also, too, with the third-party deliveries, the sole entrepreneurs, people that embrace the gig economy, they're coming out and they're going to help you sell more food and raise your sales and increase your clientele. So with that happening, and I know some people that do evening and lunch, those side hustlers, they're making $100 a day, $200, $300. I know some people make $300, $200 in the evening alone in one day. That's a good thing. Embrace the delivery technologies. Some of these people that deliver might be extinct in the next years or so, but robots are making deliveries, drones are making deliveries. So that's probably going to be part of the future. And restaurants that are embracing technology might want to take a look at that. Also, you want to embrace your differences and what makes your restaurant unique and special. Very important. Local restaurants also, and I said this before, they want something unique. They're also looking for things that are healthy choices. My youngest daughter is very health conscious, and so there's a crowd out there. There's a population, a target market that restaurants can target. Again, it's more than just burgers and fries. You can be different and special. Also, too, um, Tapper's Tavern has um, an app. You should have an app. You should look at how you can embrace technology, and that's going to drive up. That's going to allow you to, as I said, attract, connect, and engage, and generate more sales and more clientele. You can use technology for that. And I've spoken about that. So that's it. That's my presentation on restaurants in the pandemic, what they did in the past, what they did during the pandemic, and what they're doing after the pandemic is subsiding. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much, students and Professor Gibson. And I look forward to, I guess, next week in the final. Take care.